Sometimes I feel like I might never have another good creative idea again. Anyone who attempts to make creative work has experienced these massive ups and downs of feeling inspired. Sometimes you're unstoppable, and other times you just want to burn it all to the ground and quit entirely. You never really know where inspiration will come from or when it will strike, but thankfully there's a pretty surefire method for finding inspiration again. There's this quote from Austin Kleon that says, "Every artist gets asked the question, where do you get your ideas?" The honest artist answers, "I steal them." Well, I finally got to meet up with someone who I've been stealing from for years.
Welcome to Evil on Fire.
Chapter 16, when the rich man died and was buried, and the Bible says in hell, he lifted up his eyes. It's almost as if it says he awakened in a place that was absolutely beyond his wildest imagination. He never for one time thought that such a place like that could exist. He lifted up his eyes in hell. He became aware of his presence. He knew where he was. And from that moment on, there's not a thing he can do to change his circumstance and his situation.
This is kind of how I always imagined lunch with Jesse Driftwood would be like.
What a weirdly bougie breakfast also to eat on a skate rail in a dusty warehouse. This is blanched asparagus eggs Benedict.
This is Jesse Driftwood. He's a legend. He is a massive inspiration of mine, to say the least. I basically would not be where I am making the videos that I am today if it weren't for Jesse's work.
Lunch. Nice. Oh.
I originally discovered his work on Instagram when he was making these beautifully produced videos for Instagram stories, long before TikTok and Reels were even a thing.
This is the hardest part.
At the time that I was watching his Instagram stories, I was still just a mechanical engineer who was interested in video, so I basically just started stealing his work. I copied his style, copied his filming tactics, and started making my own Instagram stories that were basically just rip-offs of Jesse's.
These pants I'm wearing literally came off of Jeffrey. Like at some point I was at the studio, I needed pants and I stripped him and now I wear them.
But with plenty of time and repetition and continuing to draw inspiration from Jesse's work, I eventually got to the point where I felt like I had developed my own style.
I watch a jake.frew video and I know it's a jake.frew video. To me, it doesn't feel like anyone else's videos. I think the best way to learn is to emulate the work you like.
Yeah, and that's all my stories were at first. Like, my stories were just watch Jesse's story and then try to make something as similar as possible.
Yeah, and then along the way, two things happen, is that you figure out how to do those kinds of things, so you're just growing your skill set, but also over time, without even trying, your own personality and your own kind of visual style gets incorporated into it, until eventually it's no longer the thing you were trying to emulate. It's your own thing, and I think that's the creative process for everyone. Music, film, I don't know what other kind of creativity people have. But you know, when you get your first guitar, everyone's like, I'm gonna learn how to play Green Day, or I'm gonna learn how to play Smoke on the Water, I don't know. Yeah. And as you're playing, you realize maybe my strum pattern is a little bit different, or my voice is a little raspier. And so even in trying to emulate, you improve, but you develop your style.
Totally. This is such a random aside, but I think like a crazy story. You know the Island Boys on TikTok? Yeah. Someone was interviewing them and they were saying like, we don't listen to any music of anyone else because we don't want them to influence our style. And it was interesting hearing that, being like, that's not good. Right, like, yeah, you don't want to copy people, but you need like artistic influence. If you want to be a musician and you just don't listen to music, you're probably going to make garbage music.
Totally. I don't think, for the most part, if you had a baby and you raise this baby and they're not allowed to hear any music ever, and then when they're 20, now you're like, here's a guitar, write a masterpiece. They're not going to. You need to have some type of cultural awareness, and that doesn't even mean doing whatever's popular right now, but you do need to understand what the language you're speaking is. And there is a visual language, and it's different on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and film and TV. All of them have distinct visual languages, and it's not that you need to do that language, because there's always the opportunity to transport one from the other, right? People making cinematic TikToks is a great one. But in music, you should be inspired, and if anything, you should be inspired by things other than just what you're making. So if you're the Island Boys and you want to write music unlike anyone's ever heard, okay, cool. Take inspiration from Hawaiian folk and these other genres, things that you love, and bring them into the thing you're trying to make.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Well, yeah, then I have a couple more questions. Maybe we could answer those in like a different part of the studio.
Yeah. Let's go somewhere a bit moodier, okay?
All right, sweet.
How's that?
Where are we?
Yeah, like this is this go. Nowhere.
Oh my God.
I touched him. Don't touch the bat.
What did it feel like?
Soft, actually. It was kind of nice.
Oh. Should we get the heck out of here now?
Yeah, let's get away from this bat and see if we can find some others.
Do you have like a biggest source of inspiration currently?
I mean, I'm obsessed with skateboarding right now. Speaking on that inspiration, I don't think it needs to be necessarily an intentional, I'm pulling from here and I'm putting there. I think inevitably what happens is just humans is the things we love, the things we pay attention to, naturally just show up in our creative ventures. Currently, there's a lot of skateboarding, which is trial and error, trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. That doesn't count.
Trial and error is just the fastest way to develop a skill, but also find your style and to find inspiration. We started filming this line kind of out of nowhere. It just started for fun. We were messing around. While we were filming this line, Jesse would continue to get new ideas until eventually it became this ridiculous, creative, silly skate line that took, I think, 3.5 hours to film.
The key to a great skate clip is to always start like this. This try right here. Two more. The secret to any great skate clip is you get your board. The secret to any great, the trick to making any skate video. The secret to any great skate clip is you always have to start like this. My toe! Fuck you!
might have been the biggest lesson in inspiration of all of our time together. I have never seen someone maintain the level of persistence that Jesse showed while he was skating. If you want to develop a skill and a style, try and try and try again.
You fucking idiot. Okay, so this is literally the last try. One more. All right. I guess that's it, huh? I really don't like giving up on things.
You're not giving up.
This try right here. The secret to a great skate video is to start every clip like this. Last try. Oh my God! Why? I don't think people realize how many hundreds of tries this has taken.
Dude, it's been a lot.
How many hours now? Like,
It's gotta be at least 3.
wow, that's stupid. Okay, here's the video. I'm out. I can't handle.
There goes a shell of a man.
9 times out of 10, inspiration isn't gonna come while you're just sitting trying to be inspired. It's once you get started that the ideas start flowing. Once you're skating the line, you start thinking of how you could add on to it or improve upon it. And with creative work, at least in my experience, I have to get started with just a small idea in my head. I will never have a fully formed idea. I have to just start making it and trust that the rest of it will fall into place. You don't have to make something groundbreakingly new. You don't have to do something that no one has ever done before. Just take inspiration from work that you like. Take inspiration from things inside and outside the type of work you want to create. And then just bring in a Jesse Driftwood level of persistence into trying to create the work that you want to make. Dude, thanks for going to the greatest lengths for my video.
Listen, this is the only way I know how to make videos.
That is true. As demonstrated by your 4 hours of dedication to one silly skate line.
True. Not even like a good line.
Just like a 180 pretzel to throwing a board against a wall.
Yeah. Watch your head.
Dang, you should have been wearing your safety helmet.
I should have been wearing my safety helmet. Oh. I should have been wearing my safety helmet.